Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I will be ranking my old digital art. It is kind of horrible. Let's get started. Okay, here we have the tier list. I have 14 pieces here, all from 2017 to 2019. I'm sure I have older pieces in general. Like this one has some older drawings in it. It's like a timeline from 2016 or 2015 to 2019, I think, or 2018. And it's funny because let's start with this, because it's the earliest piece of art, digital art that I have. It's so funny because the 2015 one is the best one, I think, in this whole entire row. I think the rest one is so like ugly. Like sure, things like shading and stuff, maybe perhaps like realism of the wounds or whatever, but this, like style wise, number one is so much better, I think, even though it has like the weird like multiplier layers and whatever the fuck. But yeah, just for the sake of it being worse than like improving backwards multiple times, also like it just gets worse and worse, I'm gonna put this in D tier because it's pretty bad. This next one is pretty bad also. It's supposed to be a portrait of Conan Gray. I don't know why he's bald. I don't know. This is kind of my one like issue I have with this piece, because otherwise it's fine. It's not the best thing ever, but like I'm pretty sure this might have been traced or something. Like I might have just gotten a picture and painted over it. I'm not quite sure, but that would explain why he's bald, because I wouldn't know how to do the hair, because I was bad and I didn't understand. But that's D tier. That's D tier for sure. That's bad. Okay, this next one is very interesting. I used to want to be a comic artist, which is why I drew in this style that I don't really fuck with at all. At the time I thought it had to be super simple and easy to repeat, because I was like, oh, I want to be a comic artist, and that's what that's what Lavender Town was telling me, and I was like, well, if Lavender Town is saying it, surely it must be true, because she's so successful and so cool, and I want to be just like her. But then I made only one webcomic page ever. This is the only comic I've ever made, like ever. And I wanted to be a webcomic artist for like years and years and years. So I don't know why I thought I wanted that. I also didn't read webcomics. It's kind of like it was strange. It was a strange situation. But this art, like the poem here, is very cringe. I don't know why I felt like I had to make it rhyme. Probably because I was like, oh, it's poetry, so it has to rhyme, which is not true, but in my 15-year-old mind, I thought it was. The art here isn't too bad. It's also not too great. I'm gonna say C tier. Maybe am I being too harsh on myself? I don't know. I feel like there's better pieces in our repertoire here. We're finally getting to one that I actually like. This is based on Declan McKenna, who's still one of my favorite artists. I actually saw him live just not too long ago, a couple months ago. This is one of his unreleased song lyrics, or it was released on Bandcamp, but he made it when he was like 12 or something. It's like super crazy old, but it's still really good, which is why, I don't know, I really respect him as an artist. He's been making like bangers since he was literally like a child, so pretty cool. I like the style of this piece. It's more, it's very much more in line with what I make now. It's still stylized, but it's more towards realism. Not that that's always good, but I think it works here. I'm gonna say B or A. I'm gonna say A tier. A tier. I like it. I like it. Good job. Now this one, on first glance, you may think this is a really good portrait, or really good. This is a good portrait. Pretty sure this is traced, which there's no problem with tracing if you're just learning, which is what I was doing. So I think it's fine, and it gave me like a better understanding of painting and light and texture. And that being said, I didn't do shit here, did I? Like, I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember if it was traced, but I'm pretty sure it was traced. Because we can see what happens when I trace stuff. Like, you get a Conan situation. This isn't that. Like, I did the hair and stuff, but it still feels suspicious that I improved this much in such a short amount of time. You know? Like, if we compare it to whatever the fuck else I have going on here, like, shading-wise and stuff, I'm like, this copy, this, no. D tier. But, like, higher. Like, here, maybe. I think Conan is better than this crap, though, I will say. This is my ranking. Hold on, this is my ranking. Yeah. No. This is my ranking. Okay, we're getting to like some bad crap. Okay, this is like a scene I was trying to make. I had all these OCs at the time. I was because I was doing the webcomic thing, or like trying to. In reality, I was just creating all these OCs with like no backstory really, or no overlapping qualities between them or anything that was connecting them whatsoever. But I was like, ooh, they look cool and they're in love and they're gay. Ooh. That was like the hype at the time. Still is, I guess, for some people. And not being gay, but like, I mean, kind of. But like, for me, it was the hype. For me, I was like, gay people. Oh my god. I was exploring. But this one is like, the perspective is so bad. The shading is so bad. It doesn't make sense. The neck is way too long. The anatomy is nowhere to be found. There's no contrast whatsoever. He looks sickly pale. We're gonna have to D-tier. We're gonna have to D-tier this. This is bad. This sucks. Why is he drinking wine? I'm pretty sure he was like 15, this OC. He also has short hair for some reason, which means he's even younger than like his intended age in the comics. And I'm pretty sure his intended age was like 16, which is like a little bit older than I was at the time. But why is he drinking wine? Okay, whatever. Fucked up little piece of art. We don't fuck with it. Now this one, I actually consider to be one of my masterpieces. I did for a long time, and I still kind of fuck with it. Like, this is the same OC as in the last piece, but with his like long hair, which is what he is supposed to be having. We have a lot of pieces with him. I really love this guy. His name was Io, and you just spelled it with an I and an O. I don't know what my problem was, but I was like in love with him. I loved him so much. I like the texture here. I like that it didn't blend anything. I like that there's an attempt at shading going on. Could have been darker in a lot of places. The contrast is kind of lacking, and it kind of looks weird and like muddy in some places. But I still really like this piece. I'm gonna say A tier. Not higher than Declan, but I'm gonna say A tier. I really like it. Now this next one is a little weird, because these OCs I don't actually remember much about. I think they were twins, and like this one called Sun is evil and the one called Moon is nice. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. They're just, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what they were up to. I think they were maybe like prophets or something. I honestly don't remember much from my entire storyline I had going on for many years. I never wrote it down concretely, because there was no concrete storyline, so they were just all kind of loose ideas. But this art isn't too bad. The colors kind of suck. I don't understand the background. I don't think that works. I was trying to be clever with like flipping their skin color and hair to be opposite of each other because they're twins or whatever. But I think it just looks kind of bad. Like, the color choices are not very great. Anatomy's also weird. They're so elongated and like nasty, but I don't think it's too bad. I'm gonna say C tier. Also, I think I'm moving this up to B, because in comparison this is like better to what we've seen so far. This one I also consider to be one of my masterpieces. This is my OC Dante, which was at the time named after myself, which is kind of very cringe. I've changed my name since then, but I don't know. I like this piece itself is fine. It's just that the like projection I was doing on this character was crazy. I like the colors here. It's not too bad. I'm again missing some contrast. I really did not know how to shade properly. Everything was just super light. But I like how it looks. I'm gonna say this is A tier, to be honest. No, B tier. I'm gonna say higher B tier. I like this piece. I don't think it's too bad. This was like such a long process, and I also consider it to be one of my masterpieces. Was it a masterpiece? Probably not. What? Okay, let's start. The anatomy is fucked up. Like, the hand is wonky as fuck. The color, the shade, like the shading, I wanted it to be dark, but then I didn't add like any light sources apart from the like flashlight, I guess. But that's not how light works. I just kind of put a filter over everything and went, yup, this is dark now. He's in the dark. And then you had the glowing eyes that weren't really glowing or casting any light or anything whatsoever. Again, lack of contrast. Like, he looks sickly fucking pale. I'm sorry, Io, you deserve so much better. I should really redraw some of these to try and see what they would look like now if I were to draw these OCs. But I like the effort here. I like the background. I think the background was a good effort for my talents at the time. But I'm gonna have to say lower B tier, because I do appreciate the effort into the scene I was trying to show to the masses. You know, I was putting, there was lore, there was things happening. Okay, the clown one. I made this on a plane, which is why I think, I don't know, the colors here really work for me. What doesn't work is the fucked up anatomy of the face. And then versus the mask, like the mask has better anatomy than the actual jawline. Apart from, and the ear is kind of weird, but apart from that, like the buildings are, the balloons look nice, the sky looks nice. Again, we're lacking shadows. The shadows just didn't exist in my mind at this point, apparently. But in this work, it kind of works as like a stylized piece, so I guess it's not too bad. This might be our first S tier for me. Yeah, I'm changing this. Sorry, I need to stop changing the changing the ranking, but I just like this piece a lot. I think it's nice. Now we have another portrait of Io. This one, we're again just no shadows. What was I thinking? I was thinking shadows don't exist. I was thinking everything has to be pastel. Everything has to be pastel all the time. Really? Everything has to be pastel all the time. We can't have like dark shades. Like, ugh. I don't like this. This looks like crap. This is a low C tier because the color palette is still nice. It's not working. It's not working for us. It's not working for me. Now this one is also like a bigger piece with like a lot of effort into it. The shading came around. Listen. There's contrast here. There's shading going on. There's light effects going on. I don't really know what the fuck the background was. Like, I don't know what the glowing like window situation is. I don't know what the text is about. Lose your mind, like, I guess. I don't know why he has no face. He's like a devil. I don't think this was even a character that I was like thinking about. It was just kind of a character I'd made up. But I like the overall picture. Like, I like the overall vibe. It gives off a certain atmosphere, which I think is something that I still do in my art to this day. So I think that's interesting, and I like that. It's nice to look at. I like the color palette. And this might be an A tier. I like it. I fuck with it. Now, we've come to the last piece, which is from 2019, which is a Toon Me, which was a trend at the time where you make like a cartoon version of yourself. I didn't do that. I just traced myself. And with very little shadows once again, because oh my god, imagine using shadows in any of your work ever. And again, for tracing, instead of just actually drawing myself like I was supposed to, I'm gonna put this... How heavily do we reward or hate on tracing? I'm gonna say I like how it looks in the end, so I'm going to say C tier. It's fine, whatever. I really want to redraw some of these now. I might do that and add it here. That was my ranking for now. I hope you enjoyed watching. Do you agree with my placements? Let me know. Do you agree with my penalties for tracing? Let me know. And thank you for watching.